When it comes to Brexit, Conservative Prime Ministers have tended to face bigger political problems from their own backbenches. He might have an 80-seat majority, but Boris Johnson will not wish to alienate Brexiteers in his own party by conceding too much to get a deal. One of those is the former Conservative leader, Sir Iain Duncan Smith. Pleased to say he joins us now. Sir Iain, very good to have you on the programme this morning.
Good morning.
Same question to you as with all guests this morning. What chance do you think of us actually getting a trade deal across the line?
Well, we'll have a trade deal. I always think this idea of no deal is a misnomer. We'll have a trade deal. It'll be WTO, World Trade Organization terms, what Australia trades with, etc. That's why it's referred to as an Australian deal. So we won't have a no deal. We'll have a deal. It won't be the deal that we particularly would have liked to have struck with Europe, and they say they would have liked to have struck with us as well. But as you were in your questioning earlier on, you pointed out, when the UK voted to leave the European Union, they did so to be a sovereign nation controlling its own laws and its own powers and its own regional area, its own waters. What the European Union is determined to do is to stop that. And their proposals at the moment are unacceptable to any sovereign nation. And by the way, it was referred to as, I think in the last interview, as being, or maybe the interview before with the Spanish minister, as being a similar deal to the NAFTA, North American Free Trade Arrangement. It is not. Not one of them is expected to accept the rulings of the other courts, say in America. Canada wouldn't accept that, nor are they going to have to sign up to all the same regulations and stay with those. They are adjudicated if they're using unfair competition. That would be given to an independent adjudicator, not run by America, not run by Mexico, not run by Canada. That's what the UK is asking for. And of course, the European Union point blank refuses to grant it.
It isn't part of the problem something that people have been warning about since actually the referendum campaign itself. The idea that the European Union would give a better deal to the UK than its own member states is for the birds, and that's perhaps been one of the biggest sticking points for us. We want all the access, but we're not prepared to do what other countries need to do to get that access.
Well, to be fair, we're going to get access anyway. Trade is going to carry on between the European Union and the UK. People talk as though, the day after the 31st of December, all trade will cease with the UK and Europe. Not at all. We export more to countries now, a growing amount more, than we do, which we don't have trade deals with, than we do with the European Union. And 60% of our overseas trade is with countries like America, where we don't have a trade deal. So we need to put this into perspective. What we will have to do with trade with them is trade rather like we do with places like America, where countries exporting have to pay tariffs and correspondingly when they import to us. We'd rather not have to pay those tariffs, and we'd rather the European Union didn't have to pay tariffs. But if they were sensible and reasonable, we wouldn't have to. But we will continue to trade. This isn't going to be complete Armageddon, people not trading at all. And bear in mind, our export trade to the European Union is around about 12% of our total GDP. The rest of it is either abroad or in the UK.
Sure, but in the interest of as broad a perspective on these issues as possible, surely we also have to concede that if we leave on WTO terms, there will be a hit to the economy. There will be jobs lost. The cost of, an average bag of shopping, Tesco's estimates, goes up by 3 to 5%. I mean, it's not the sunny uplands that have been described in the past. A degree of honesty about the economic shock that we're going to experience from January 1st onwards is surely necessary as well.
Yes, but I don't believe any of these forecasts are correct. Every one of these, by the way, produced by the Bank of England or by the Treasury, has been fundamentally out now for ages. And it all depends what you assume to be the case of a UK after it leaves the European Union and then trades separately. And all of their assumptions are that other trade arrangements won't make any great difference. Yet, if you look at trade deals done by places like Australia with the United States, they had a huge impact on their economy, made it grow faster. So, and I really do, I'm skeptical. Of course, there's a lot of scaremongering going on. The truth is that the UK is the fourth largest export destiny for the rest of the world, the fourth largest in the world. And we export now dramatically huge amounts, but we also export to many, many countries. Our growing exports in services, by the way, go all over the world. And the other point about this deal, which is not just the way the European Union is behaving, but they also refuse to have financial services. in their deal, which is our biggest exporter. So you can see straight away it's a very one-way street. No country would accept that the other country or the other group would control the laws ruling their regulations, would be able to change their regulations and make the UK stay with those regulations regardless, even though we have no say in it. And that would be adjudicated by the European Court of Justice. In what world were those who voted for exit going to be satisfied by that? Of course they won't. I think the thing about this, by the way, which is really interesting, is if people didn't know why people voted to leave, the behavior of the European Union right now demonstrates exactly why. It's desperate to control everybody. It's desperate not to have competition. It's fearful, therefore, of the outside world competing with it. And we know, looking forward, even under EU figures, they will only share about 4 to 5% of global growth over the next 20 to 25 years. So the markets and the future is outside the European Union.
Iain Duncan Smith, thank you so much for joining us in the programme this morning, and do have a Merry Christmas when it comes.
And you, very much so.